Hello, my name is Melissa, and the reason I decided to do this video is because I have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, and I actually have posted two videos about Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome and about my journey with EDS, but they were in Spanish, so I decided to take the plunge and record one in English. Mainly because I wanted to talk about my journey and what had happened to me since my diagnosis and what struggles I have encountered as a zebra in a small country like Costa Rica, and what obstacles I have to came across and have to jump across. And that's why I decided to record this video. I know that May was the month to bring awareness to Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, but for us, awareness never stops. We have EDS 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So here's my story. And before we get started, I would just want to apologize. First, if this video takes too long, and second, if I stumble upon my words. English is not my main language, so I apologize about that. So, first of all, what is EDS? Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome is a connective tissue disorder that what happens is that you have faulty collagen. And there are 13 kinds of EDS. I just happen to have the hypermobility kind. EDS causes chronic pain. It also causes acute pain when you just sprain your ankle or one of your joints happens to just come out of place. EDS is one of the few or just one of the known conditions that causes both acute and chronic pain known. So it is a struggle. Being recognized by the medical community about this struggle, it takes a toll on many of us, but that doesn't mean that we are stopped on our tracks and ready to give up the fight. No, that's why we call ourselves zebra warriors. Why zebras? Two reasons. First of all, medical students are often told that when they hear hoofsteps, they think horses, not zebras. That means that when they hear or they see a patient, they look up the symptoms and they think of them as common illness. In our case, they have to see the big picture and take into account our big medical history, like the big drawing, the big map that we are. And think that we are not that horse, we are the zebra, the rare one, the one that has the rare illness. And second, because there doesn't exist two zebras with the same set of stripes, meaning there doesn't exist two Ehlers-Danlos patients that have the same symptoms set. You don't see two patients with the same set amount of symptoms. You can have a patient that have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome hypermobility type that has POTS or orthostatic tension syndrome, or you can have the same Ehlers-Danlos syndrome patient with hypermobility that doesn't have POTS but has gastroparesis. So we are very unique, even with our own illnesses. We have many diverse symptoms and chronic comorbidities that make us unique. In my case, I have took me a long time to be diagnosed. When I was young, around the age of 2 to 5 years old, my mom kept complaining to my doctors that I had a lot of pain on my joints, that I cry myself to sleep, and they told her that don't worry, it's growing pains. So imagine being 5 years old and this high specialist orthopedic surgeons telling you, don't worry, it's chronic pain. So in your mindset of a child, you start to think, okay, this pain is normal. So that's what I did. So in a scale of 1 to 10, I burned in my head that having a 5 every day, a 5 out of 10 in pain was normal. And that became my normal. Being with pain was my normal. And I grew up like that. So fast forward to high school, I began to have fainting spells. Once again, I went to the doctors, they gave me EKGs and everything looked normal. So they told my mom that I was under a lot of stress due to academics and everything else. And I believed them. I was under a lot of stress at the time. I was almost a senior and I was handling a lot of on my plate. But fainting almost 3 times a week wasn't normal. But I believed them. They were the doctors, right? Once again, fast forward to my college years. I had the biggest problem with my kidneys. I keep having infections, UTIs, you name it, I had it. I had fatigue, I couldn't keep up with classes. But I endured it because I knew in my heart that I had to pull through. So I was stuck in the ER. I lost count how many times I spent my nights in the ER with my MVP, that it's my mom. She pulled through with me with everything that was my illness. And she did it without a flinch. And after that, I remember one time I had a test, a 4-hour test at 8 a.m. and I was discharged at 5:30 a.m. Got home, took a shower and rushed to my college, took the test, came back home and fall asleep. But that's what I had to do. I had to pull through all these things because I wanted to be like everyone else. I wanted to prove myself, my value. But I was injuring myself. I keep on having sprains. I lost count of how many ankle and wrist sprains I had. I mean, my faculty, my school had to install an elevator because I keep on quoting the law that I had to practically jump up and down the stairs with a boot on my ankle, or take ask my classmate for notes because I had my wrist on a casket and I couldn't take notes. And those were my years as an undergrad student. But I pulled through. It took me a long time to finish undergrad, but I made it. And I'm happy. But finally, I enrolled to grad school. And that's when reality started to sink in. I starting to have more severe problems. The fatigue was even stronger than ever. My concentration problems were worse than ever. I couldn't do anything without having the need to rest at least 3 to 4 hours. I was an intern in a hospital, and I remember finishing my rounds and then coming back to my local ER and signing up. Sorry for the motorcycle that is sounding right now. It's my neighbor going to his job. I remember having to check into the local ER because I was in so much pain that I couldn't take it anymore. I was in my feet all day, 8 hours, 4 days a week, and I just couldn't take it. I finished my internship and I asked my doctor in charge of my problems with my kidneys if I could finally go back to doing exercise. I had gained a lot of weight due to the treatment they had given me in order to save my right kidney. I almost lost it due to the infections, the continuous infections that I used to have. So he told me, of course you can. It's about time you go back to your regular self. Because I used to be a gym junkie. I used to go 3 times a week. It was my way of dealing with stress. So I went. The first month was okay. I was feeling the pain, but I said to myself, okay, it's been like 6 years since you last came. It's okay to feel the pain. But the pain got worse. I couldn't take it anymore, to the point that it was worrying. So I check into the ER again, and they send me to the hospital ER with the suspect of appendicitis. And then I went on and they sent me to another specialized hospital because they told me it's not appendicitis, but we think it's something regarding your ovaries and you might lose one. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. So I get into this specialized hospital for women, and they immediately check me to one of the floors because it looks like I'm going to lose my ovary. So, long story short, I didn't lose my ovary. It was just one of my ligaments that it was so sore about my new condition doing exercise that it was practically strangling my fallopian tube to the point that it was terrible down there. So I was talking to my cousin who happened to be a geneticist in the US, and I keep telling her about my lesions. By the time I think I had about 27 grade 2 sprains on my right ankle, around 28 sprains on my left wrist. I don't know how many times my shoulders keep popping out. I had been having problems with my colon, but I didn't want to check it out. I thought it was my weight. And she told me, "Did you know that EDS runs in our family?" And I was like, "What? EDS, the thing that this girl Martina from Eat Your Kimchi has?" And she told me, "Of course." And I was like baffled because I didn't think that that could run in our family. And she told me, "You're like textbook EDS, hypermobility. Go and talk to your PCP about it." So I went on and got an appointment after I was checked out from the hospital. And I went to my practitioner, my doctor, and I told her that about this EDS thing, and she looked it up and she told me, "Melissa, I really think you might have EDS." And she told me I actually didn't think about it because it's such a rare condition, but you fit perfectly. So let's run. She runs some tests to completely disregard lupus, arthritis, and all of those things. And all that was left was EDS. So she sent me to my rheumatologist, and here's the catch. Here in Costa Rica, we have Social Security, so a Social Security system. So we have to wait for any appointment. When I was having problems with my kidneys, I had to wait 3 years to see my specialist. This time, I got lucky. I only had to wait 3 months. So I went into my rheumatologist appointment, and he saw all my x-rays, and by that time I was what they call a frequent flyer in the emergency room, to the point that I was already being diagnosed with a rectified spine. I have a rectified spine from my cervical to my sacrum is like a pole, and I have a slight scoliosis on my right shoulder, but that was recently. And I'm talking, all of these things happened in 2016. My rheumatologist saw all of these things and told me, "Yes, well, you have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome. It's true, you have a hypermobility type, but it's benign. Nothing is wrong is going to happen to you." And I say, "I have chronic pain. I have been living with chronic pain all my life." "Yeah, yes, don't worry about it. But there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm sending you to the pain clinic." Here I have come and I had done my research, so I was expecting a referral to cardiology, orthopedic, and physical therapy at least, and then pain clinic. And he scratched all of those and only sent me to pain clinic. And I say, "Okay, I can wait, and I will ask to the pain clinic for those referrals." and I have to wait again 4 months for the pain clinic. And I did. And the pain clinic doctors were completely unempathetic, if that is even a word. They didn't knew about EDS. I had to explain. So I took matters into my own hands. I searched for a doctor that knew about EDS in my country. And it was a struggle because almost no one knew about EDS. But I stumbled across my savior, and today marks the 1 year anniversary that I had my first appointment with him. And I'm very grateful to my doctor, to my current doctor, because he is the one that got me out of bed. I had spent 6 months in bed rest because I couldn't walk due to pain. And he got me out of bed. He completely and utterly listened to all of my complaints. He took the time to explain what EDS was to me and my family. He explained why EDS was causing both acute and chronic pain to us. And he took about an hour in that appointment. And he gave me the most comforting words I have heard in a doctor after being called a junkie, a drug seeker, a frequent flyer by doctors in the ER. He told me, "You need to stop worrying about your pain. Now the one in charge of worrying about your pain is me." And that was the game changer. That was what made me trust him. And that's the reason I keep trusting him. Whenever I have a severe pain flare or something, I just call him on his cell phone, whatever the time is. And he immediately thinks about something because I'm a difficult patient. I'm allergic to all NSAIDs. So I'm allergic to 85% of all meds that are out there in the market. And he tells me what I should do in this case. And well, my journey didn't stop there. Of course, my health keep on deteriorating. But that didn't stop me. I later found out last year that I have a condition called chondromalacia on my right knee. That means that I no longer have the collagen on my right knee. So currently my bones are sticking together and they are like shaving against each other. So my amazing doctor once again think about a solution and decided to inject and infiltrate me with a solution called hyaluronic acid and give room so my bones don't rub together. And that was a game changer because I was already using crutches, which I rock because there are teal crutches, which happens to be my favorite color. And I decided to, after of course a mourning period, because when I got the official diagnosis, it comes with a mourning period. For me especially because I was in the middle of grad school within an specialization. I major as a nutritionist and dietitian, But my specialization required me to be on my feet almost 8 hours a day, always. And that no longer could be part of my plan. So I mourn for the fact that the plan that I had made for my future and all the other plans that I had for my future were now gone out the window. And I give myself time to mourn about it. But after that, I decided to keep up with myself. If you don't know me, I'm actually a quite bubbly and extrovert person. That is the main reason why I'm standing in front of a camera. Because most people are introverts. Most zebras that I have come to know and love don't dare to stand in front of a camera and do what I'm doing. I'm bearing my soul to you guys. And I'm doing it for a purpose. Because I want to spread awareness. I want to put a face on all of the people that have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome. And if you have noticed, I have not used the word patients. Because I hate that word, even though I am a health major. Why do I hate that word? Because we are not EDS. We have EDS. But EDS doesn't define us as a person. We might be severe warriors because not everyone can handle the amount of pain, the amount of bullying that the medical community has done to us many times, the amount of people that we have lost in our daily lives, because at the beginning, many people, when we receive our diagnosis, are there for us. But we slowly see them going on with their lives. And since we cannot be part of that life any longer, they go and keep on their lives. And we have to be here, stuck in our houses sometimes for weeks. So I want to give a shout out to my amazing support system. I already told you, to my MVP, my mom, the one who rushes to the ER with me whenever I'm having a problem or whenever I'm in the middle of a crisis. To my amazing best friends that are like sisters born from another mother, who always check on me. To my dad, despite the fact that he doesn't longer have the need to support me financially, he still pays for my meds. And he checks on me. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for that. To my family members that are very caring and know exactly when to stop by, when to offer help, when to text me. To my spiritual family, because I'm a very spiritual person and I put God first and foremost in my life. I thank God and I thank my spiritual family for them never checking out on me. They have always been there for me. Always. And for my K-pop family, I listen to K-pop, even if it sounds kind of ridiculous coming from a 29-year-old woman. but they have been very present, and they are very sturdy friends that have come and stepped it up. So thank you to all of you. As you can see, I have a very big support system, and that's the reason I can smile, because I rely on them. And I also want to give a shout out to the many other people that I have come to learn, and I have come to terms with what is going on. Because thanks to my support system now, I was able to finish grad school, and now I am a full-blooded registered dietitian and nutritionist. And I want to quote something that one of my favorite YouTubers says, Mary Fry. And she often says, I choose joy. And that's exactly what I have been doing in the last months. I have been choosing joy. Because it has been extremely hard, and I have been enduring an extremely hard journey. So I choose joy. And I want to end this small blog. Well, not that small. I have been talking nonstop for 30 minutes. So if you have reached this point, kudos to you. But I want to end this with a small poem that I found that it has given me a lot of strength. And if you want more information about the EDS or another YouTuber that I love that has EDS, and she is a queen about rock and EDS. Her name is Christina Doherty. I'm going to link her and the Ehlers-Danlos Society down below. I want to end this with a poem called Pain and Sadness Can Also Become a Path by Chul Hwan. He's a Korean poet. And it reads, I realized this after a long time of pain, that pain can also become a path. There is no life where no wind blows. The wind must blow so the tree will root deep inside the earth, so that it won't fall over. That is why the wind shakes the trees. That is why the wind shakes us all. Pain can also become a path. Sadness can also become a path. That is why, despite the pain and the sadness that you might be feeling if you have been recently diagnosed with EDS, or if you have been diagnosed with EDS and you're experiencing a severe flare, or you're struggling with all the comorbidities that come with EDS, remember, there is a path. And it might be rocky, and it might not be the flower path that we all envision once in our lifetime. But not everyone can walk the path that we were given. We are warriors, and that is why we are rocking this path. Thank you for looking, and thank you for watching. And remember, we are zebra strong, and we might be fragile, but we are not invincible. We are fragile, but we aren't unbreakable. Thanks for watching.